KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning. It is 6 o'clock. It is Saturday, April 27th, the last weekend for Fiesta events. Matter of fact, today is the last big day for Fiesta events, and it's a big day.
Yeah, you have some confetti right here. No, just kidding.
Probably do.
The Flambeau Night Parade, King William Fair, Festival de Animales, Animals, Fiesta, Pooch Parade, and so much more.
Well, if that's not enough for you, then just go back to bed.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a full day. And we dodged a bullet last night or yesterday afternoon with the Battle of Flowers. Mm-hmm. Question is, are we going to be able to stay rain-free today?
I think generally yes. Now we're going to have some drizzle. Okay, so but we can handle that. But the interrupting and inconvenient weather, I think, is going to hold off until tomorrow morning.
Ooh, okay.
When we have storms in the forecast. But for the day today, mainly just pretty humid. And yes, you may run into a few areas of drizzle here and there. Outside right now in San Antonio, it's 75 degrees, 75 in New Braunfels, and Pleasanton 76. Good morning, Bernie. It's 72, 73 in Kerrville. Humidity is high. Winds are from the southeast, breezy at about 10 to 15, but we're actually going to see winds pick up even more later on today. If you're heading out to the King William Fair or the Pooch Parade, those kinds of things, just know that, again, patchy drizzle is likely. It's going to stay humid, fairly cloudy through about noon. Around 1, it'll be 80 degrees. A few peaks of sunshine this afternoon, right around 84, 85 for the high. And in the evening, that's when it's particularly going to get pretty breezy. So it is going to be a humid day today. By tomorrow morning, though, morning storms, particularly between 7 a.m. and noon, and we will see some peaks of afternoon sun. I want to detail our local storm chance, give you the timeline for storms in San Antonio. It has been a very stormy few days across the nation, tornadoes, hail. I'm going to show you what some parts of the nation have been dealing with and walk you through a timeline of when we have our highest chance for storms in San Antonio coming up. David, Tiffany.
All right, Sarah, thank you. An arrest made last evening against the backdrop of Fiesta celebrations has the Texas Department of Public Safety thinking they found a suspect connected to a possible kidnapping case out of Oklahoma. According to DPS, a possible kidnapping happened in Broken Arrow, that is just outside of Tulsa. More than 500 miles away, right here in San Antonio, troopers arrested the suspect downtown near Brooklyn Avenue and Avenue B. DPS tells us they saw a black Dodge Durango on Loop 410 that matched the one in the kidnapping report. Law enforcement followed the vehicle to downtown and then pulled it over. And that's when they say they found a person who was declared missing inside that vehicle. They arrested the driver. We don't know anything about the driver, but we did call the Broken Arrow Police Department to get more information about the case. They have yet to get back to us.
This morning, police are still searching for the person responsible for shooting and killing a man who was leaving a basketball court early Friday morning. It happened just after midnight at Brooks Inner City Sports on the southeast side. Police say the 27-year-old was hit multiple times. A neighbor says after hearing several shots, she saw a car speed off.
You just get scared. You get scared. And like I said, I thought of my grandson and his family and my neighbors. You know, we didn't know where we heard gunshots, but we didn't know where they were being aimed.
The building's owner tells KSAT it's meant to be a youth facility. To help pay the bills, they rent it out at night.
In your morning headlines, the first week of arguments in Donald Trump's criminal hush money trial ended yesterday afternoon after jurors heard testimony from multiple witnesses.
And taking the stand were Trump's longtime assistant, a tabloid executive, and a managing director who worked at the bank used by Michael Cohen to arrange payment to Stormy Daniels. ABC's Daria Albinger has the latest in the trial.
Following a full week of testimony, the jury in Donald Trump's hush money trial will have a 3-day weekend to reflect. Friday afternoon, Trump's former personal assistant Rona Graff took the stand. She was one of his longest-serving employees, hired back in 1987, admitting she had a vague recollection of spotting Stormy Daniels in Trump Tower. Graff, considered Trump's gatekeeper, said she was responsible for updating the company contact list. Trump denies he had an affair with Daniels, but prosecutors say say she was paid $130,000 to keep quiet before the 2016 election, and Trump illegally falsified business records to cover it up. Graff also testified she entered contact information for Karen McDougal, a former Playboy model who claims she had a year-long affair with Trump. Trump denies the affair, but David Pecker, former publisher for the National Enquirer, testified that at Trump's direction, the tabloid bought McDougal's story but never ran it in order to protect Trump's political campaign. Pecker also took the stand, answering questions about a conspiracy to catch and kill news stories that could be damaging to Trump when he ran for president. The defense claiming the National Enquirer's relationship with Trump was standard operating procedure in the tabloid industry. Day 9 of Trump's trial resumes next Tuesday. Daria Albinger, ABC News, New York.
President Joe Biden signed a bill Wednesday that could lead to a nationwide TikTok ban, and time could soon be running out for its more than 170 million users here in the U.S. ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese parent company, has 270 days to sell or spin off the social media platform. Otherwise, it'll be banned from U.S. app stores. Some experts say the bill does not prioritize the right issue. Meanwhile, TikTok is responding, calling the legislation unconstitutional.
The Biden administration has finalized new rules for power plants. It compels coal and new natural gas power plants to either cut or capture 90% of their climate pollution by 2032. These changes are expected to reduce the carbon dioxide emissions from the sector by 75% compared to its peak in 2005. The EPA estimates they will prevent nearly 1.4 metric tons of planet-warming pollution from entering the atmosphere through 2047.
And more coming out of the White House. They issued new rules that require airlines to automatically issue cash refunds for things like delayed flights. The rules say airlines should better disclose fees for baggage or canceling a reservation. The Transportation Department says airlines will be required to provide automatic cash refunds within a few days for canceled flights and significant delays. Under current regulations, airlines decide how long a delay must last before triggering refunds. Airlines are now fighting back, criticizing the Department of Transportation, confusing consumers, and saying its actions will result in reduction in choice and decline in competition, which drives up prices.
Time now 6:07, 75 degrees.
A program meant to curb assaults at the Central Library getting pushed back from some people who feel that's intimidating, while others say it makes them feel safe. Coming up next, what the library plans on doing after listening to the community.
And a look outside with live cam. A nice warm morning to start off. We have the Flambeau Night Parade, the King William Fair, and so much more. Sarah's going to dive deep into your weather coming up next.
And welcome back. It is 6:10, 10 minutes after 6 o'clock. A program meant to curb assaults at the Central Library is going to be evaluated. Last fall, the library's board of trustees gave the green light to the pilot program to have San Antonio police at the downtown campus part-time. It's been in place for nearly 6 months, and opponents have protested the police presence. They say it intimidates communities who rely on the library as a resource. But one librarian assistant who was attacked by a patron says the program gives him a sense of security.
I think a lot of people were saying, and I keep hearing it, that libraries are a safe place for minorities. Well, this minority got kicked in the face, and I'm working to help the people that are saying it's a safe place for them.
The library says it's going to work with UTSA to analyze how well the program works and look at feedback from the community.
Well, we had fun at the Battle of Flowers parade yesterday, didn't we?
Here's the problem. We all got Coscaroned.
Yep.
It was humid, which means the little confetti things stick to your skin. I got home last night. It was like down my shirt, and it looked like I had little blood spots on because it was red.
You get little dye.
Yeah, because of the humidity. But hey, it was all fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Good time.
And we had one little storm that moved north of San Antonio during the parade, so we kind of were able to end up eking out a pretty nice parade.
And we thank all the people that showed up yesterday, all the KSAT insiders,
thank you
all
guys
those.
so much.
Man, and they look like they were having fun too.
There's going to be a lot of people at the Flambeau tonight too.
The party continues. So tonight's weather.
Yeah, windy, I think, is the biggest impact to people. So as we look at your 12-hour forecast for the day today, drizzle outside right now in some areas, patchy drizzle for this morning, a lot like yesterday. It's going to be fairly cloudy for most of the morning into the afternoon, 78 degrees at noon with a few peaks of sunshine. We'll get up to 85 degrees for the high temperature today. And the winds are going to be the biggest factor later on today. Throughout the day, we'll see wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour, but tonight a few wind gusts of up to 35 miles per hour. So there's a lot of people out there with tents and a lot of things going on. They're going to be rolling in the wind because of those gusty wind conditions. Here's a look at your Flambeau Parade forecast. Vanguard 7:15, Parade 7:45. It's going to be breezy. Sun's going to set at 8:09. We'll have gusts up to 35 miles per hour. It'll be cloudy and mild with temperatures falling into the 70s after sunset. Going to be a humid one, but nothing we can't handle. It isn't until early tomorrow morning that I expect some storms. Take a look at the satellite and radar across the state of Texas. It's quiet for now, but it's going to be a pretty active day for North Texas. We'll talk about that in a bit. First, I want to show you the system that's currently working its way through parts of Minnesota and the Great Lakes. This system produced several tornadoes yesterday. Here's a look at yesterday's tornado reports. 78 tornado reports. Now, some of this was from the same tornado, but still, that is a massive amount of tornado reports, and a lot of it happened in parts of Nebraska and Iowa. In fact, here's a look at some of the video of some of those tornadoes. This was in Minden, Iowa yesterday. Take a look at that large wedge tornado there off in the distance. So remarkably, there have been no reports of deaths from these tornadoes, some injuries, but remarkably, as of now, no reports of death. This was in Nebraska, in Lincoln, Nebraska. There you can see a very clear funnel and a tornado whipping around some debris there on the surface. And again, that looks like the University of Nebraska there. With their football field, and then that tornado off in the distance. So again, coming back to our graphics, we have another system that's working its way across the state of Texas and parts of Oklahoma and Kansas. And this looks like it's going to be another system that's going to be capable of producing some tornadoes, mainly for parts of North Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. A 4 on a scale of 1 to 5 for severe risk. Widespread severe weather expected from parts of Abilene up through Dallas, Denison, Sherman, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and up into parts of Kansas as well. Now, as for our weather here in San Antonio and the Hill Country, we're going to be on the tail end of things. So while we do have a risk for severe weather early tomorrow morning, I don't anticipate widespread massive issues with severe weather tomorrow morning. Instead, here's a look at our futurecast. While we will be looking at some peaks of sunshine this afternoon in San Antonio, I think in parts of the Hill Country, Kerrville, Bandera, maybe even as far south as Bernie, we will likely continue to see drizzle throughout the day today. So a little bit cooler up in the Hill Country today. And then here's that front that's going to be sparking off storms across that North Texas, Oklahoma City area. This is by tonight, 9 o'clock in the evening. We'll be on the tail end of things by about 2 o'clock in the morning. Areas like Rock Springs Junction probably going to be seeing some stronger storms. Now, as this storm system moves south, it's going to end up falling apart quite a bit before it reaches us. But I do think in San Antonio, our best chance for storms, 7 a.m. to noon tomorrow. And as far as rainfall goes, maybe 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of rainfall. So not too much rain. By noon, all of this rain will be out of here, and we'll actually see peaks of sunshine tomorrow in the afternoon. So our timeline for storms tomorrow, 7 a.m. to noon, peaking around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And then we'll be looking at some peaks of sunshine in a high of 81. So we'll keep an eye on those storms in the morning hours. Again, it doesn't look like we'll have widespread severe weather, but it is something I'll be keeping my eye on. And as for the week ahead, we're going to have daily chances for isolated rain in the afternoon. No big rainmakers until potentially Friday when a front moves through. So lots going on today. I think most of the parade activities will go off without a hitch as long as you can deal with the humidity deal with a little areas of drizzle. It's tomorrow morning that I'll be tracking some storms on the radar, guys.
And on the way here to work, I saw a lot of people already on the parade route.
Oh yeah, they're already
excited.
ready.
Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting day and a fun day around San Antonio.
All right, thanks, Sarah.
It is 6:15, 6:17. I'll give you 2 extra minutes.
Yeah, thanks.
75 degrees.
This year's Battle of Flowers Grand Marshal has a lot to celebrate this morning. After doubling the San Antonio Food Bank's donation goal, what CEO Eric Cooper had to say once the final tally was in after the break.
And welcome back on this Fiesta-filled Saturday, 6:21. Everyone knows that Fiesta is much more than just celebrations, though. It is a party with a purpose, and that purpose paid off big time for the Battle of Flowers Grand Marshal and San Antonio Food Bank CEO Eric Cooper.
Sarah Costa spoke to him after the food bank found out it doubled its donation goal during Fiesta.
Viva Fiesta! The Battle of Flowers 2024 Viva Amor Parade wrapped up, and we have some very exciting news and special guests. We have Eric Cooper, the Grand Marshal of the parade, and Lucy Bell, the chairman of Battle of Flowers Parade this year. And Eric, okay, how did today go? I know we talked for the last several weeks getting ready for today.
You know, it was so incredibly magical to be with San Antonio, to be on the float, to be a part of Battle of Flowers, and that 133-year tradition. Our staff, our volunteers, board, everybody felt the love today, and it was great to be able to give it out on the parade trail.
Okay, Viva Amor. I know there was a big goal to reach for collecting food and those donations. So what is the final tally?
Well, Lucy and team thought with 133 years of Battle of Flowers that they would set a goal of 1.33 million pounds of food, which is pretty lofty, right? And to do that, there were red barrels all over the city. People were giving funds, they were giving food. Lucy had a barrel in front of her house all month long, gearing up, and all of a sudden, at last minute San Antonio, we not only met our goal of 1.33 million pounds, we actually doubled it, almost 2.6 million meals provided to families in need through those pounds of food that were collected. Just amazing.
Did you hear that, San Antonio? We didn't just party hard, we did it right. Oh my gosh, amazing. Double the amount. And Lucy, I'm going to scooch over here in between you guys. Lucy, this is chairman of the parade. You are leading the parade and, you know, getting to watch all of it and all of your hard work. How did it feel? What did it look like to you?
It's a dream come true. This is watching love in action. It's been wonderful to partner with Eric and the food bank, and just seeing all the participants, all the bands, all the students, everyone is all smiles at the beginning of the parade as we launch them to come spread love through the city streets.
Viva Amor. I love this parade theme this year. And how does it make you feel that San Antonio didn't just raise the goal of 1.33, but doubled it?
I knew San Antonio would come through. All of our friends, all of our patrons, everyone has been here supporting us, and we are here supporting you right back. We love you, San Antonio.
Okay, can we get Viva Fiesta together?
Let's do it.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Viva Fiesta!
And welcome back. It is 6:27. We are shining the light on a couple of local students going above and beyond who have some new reasons to celebrate this morning.
They are from the STEM Early College High School in Harlandale ISD, and they were just awarded a scholarship and a paid internship at Amazon. Andres Caracheo and Nicholas Farnsworth just received $40,000 scholarships to study computer science, engineering, or a related field in college, plus a paid Amazon internship after their freshman year of college. They are among 43 high school seniors across Texas and 400 total nationwide from underserved communities to receive the scholarships. Amazon says the scholarship gives the students the opportunity for hands-on practical experience with mentorship from Amazon leaders.
Congratulations to them, but that's not all. Also being recognized this morning, the National Merit Scholarship Corporation says 4 San Antonio seniors have won corporate sponsors National Merit Scholarship Awards.
This is a big deal because the scholars were selected from students who advanced to the finalist level in the National Merit Scholarship competition. Corporate sponsors provide the scholarships for finalists who are either children of their employees, live in the community they serve, or who plan to pursue related college majors or careers. It's based on scores from the KSAT National Merit Scholarship qualifying test. Less than 1% of the nation's seniors are chosen as semifinalists.
We're not that far from graduation either, are we?
No.
Coming up a couple of months.
And I think prom too.
Yeah, I love bragging about all those kids in San Antonio. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
628, 74 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Hola, I'm Staff Sergeant Edgar Bravo, and I'm from Inter-American Air Forces Academy at Lackland Air Force Base. I'm happy to be back at Fiesta. Viva Fiesta!
Good morning. It's 6:30. It's Saturday, April 27th. It's the last weekend of Fiesta, last big day. It is Big Saturday, Fiesta style.
Right, and it's all about the weather. So we have to check the weather to make sure how to dress appropriately, right, Sarah?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much yesterday. Whatever we had yesterday, we're going to have today with a little bit more wind in the evening hours. So expect some areas of morning drizzle out there. As we take a look outside with live cam, you can see it's another muggy morning. It's 75 degrees outside, but the dew points are in the 70s as well. So just very thick humidity. Southeast winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. It's 73 in Kerrville. Good morning, Del Rio. It's 73 degrees, 77 in Carissa Springs, 78 in Cotulla, and it's 76 in Gonzales. Now, a lot of people going to be out and about around downtown San Antonio for the King William Fair today. Patchy drizzle this morning. Around noon, it'll be 80 degrees, and in the afternoon, 85 for the high. It is going to get pretty breezy this evening with gusts up to 35 miles per hour. That'll impact Fiesta Flambeau. So when we look at your weather headlines, here's what you need to know. Today, morning drizzle. Yes, a 20% chance for an isolated real rain shower, but it isn't until tomorrow that we see storms really be a big factor. So as for the Flambeau parade, you should be okay. Just it is going to be windy, so keep that in mind. Gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we are going to have morning storms. I'll give you those details and timeline of when you can expect storms in your neighborhood. And a big temperature spread across the KSAT 12 viewing area today. Details coming up in just a bit. Tiffany.
Thank you, Sarah. An overnight shooting sent 3 people to the hospital this morning. San Antonio police say around 12:30, a shooting happened on Florida Street near downtown. A man was shot in the head and chest. 2 women were also hit by gunfire. The 3 victims were able to get taken to the hospital. Police do not have any suspect information at this time, but this is an ongoing investigation.
The Fiesta Flambeau Parade tonight. This is something amazing that you're going to see in the parade. Those are the world famous Clydesdales.
SA Live's Jen Tobias Strutsky goes behind the scenes with the team that cares for them.
For most people in San Antonio, Fiesta is all about partying and having a good time. But for the Budweiser Clydesdale team, when they hit the parades, there's no horsing around.
And that's because the iconic, majestic Clydesdales are much more than a Budweiser mascot. They've been an integral part of Anheuser-Busch for 90 years.
Back in 1933, the repeal of Prohibition, August Busch Jr. bought his father, August Busch Sr., a 6-horse hitch of Clydesdales as a gift for him. He didn't necessarily like this because of Prohibition, weren't making any money, no beer. But after Prohibition repealed, they took the 6-horse hitch, loaded up beer, and delivered it to the White House to FDR at the time. And until they came to be, been doing it ever since. 2 years later, they added 2 more horses to make the iconic 8-horse hitch. And then about 1950s, they added the Dalmatian to the hitch. So when the drivers got off to deliver the beer inside, the dogs would stay with the horses and beer outside to protect them. And they chose Dalmatians because they're easy to spot in low light hours.
They now have 3 traveling teams across the United States making their grand appearances, like here in San Antonio, for the biggest party of the year. It's only fitting we bring in this gentle giant herd, each horse averaging around 2,000 pounds.
To put it in perspective, just how big they are, this one here is Bud, the tallest, at 19.1 Hands, Lane, what does that mean? Why hands?
So back in the day, the unit of measurement, they would take their hands and put it sideways, so it'd be about 4 inches. They'd start from the ground and work their way up to their withers, and that's how you would measure them in hands high.
And to be on the team here, you have to be how?
Minimum of 18 hands, so 6 foot tall at their withers.
And the average horse is what?
Around 14, 15 hands high.
14, 15 hands. Okay, so you're pretty big, especially next to me. And take a look at this horseshoe. Wow.
Lane is part of the team that travels and cares for the Clydesdales. For him, this is a dream job.
So I started at Grant's Farm in St. Louis for a year, went out and traveled on our East Coast team. Then I transferred to our West Coast team, and now I actually work at our breeding and training facility in Boonville, Missouri.
Part of the signature look includes their long locks, and there's a reason for that.
Over in Scotland, there are long grasses over there that are sharp, and so the Clydesdale breed grew long hair to protect their legs.
Wow, the evolution.
They were named because a dale over there is called a valley, and they were found on the Clyde River, so Clydesdale.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yep.
To be a part of the Budweiser Clydesdale team, you have to have a background in horses, just like Lane. That's a given, but they also have to know how to braid hair, and quickly.
So whenever we go, we hook to the wagon, we'll always braid their foretop, their mane, and their tail. So you'll put a ribbon in their foretop, a nice little 4-strand braid, as well as the mane all the way down here to their shoulder, because the collar will sit here on their shoulder, so you don't want the mane roll under the collar, and they'll put their tail up in a bun.
And when people talk about majestic, that's what they're talking about. For more information on the Budweiser Clydesdales, you can head to our website, salive.com, click the As Seen on SA Live tab, or scan that QR code on your screen. I have to look at them one more time. Oh, so beautiful. And look, I even get to take a souvenir home from Ace.
Wow, a lot of information right there about those Clydesdales. They are absolutely gorgeous.
And the staff gets to braid their hair and everything. So sweet.
Beautiful animals. They're going to be part of the Fiesta Flambeau Parade tonight at 7 o'clock, and you're going to be able to see it live right here on KSAT 12 if you can't make it downtown.
And you can watch the story again on SA Live's website. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to salive.com.
And tonight is the last parade of Fiesta season. Our coverage of the Flambeau Parade once again starts at 7 o'clock here on KSAT 12. Stefania Jimenez and Meyer Arthur are going to be hosting. You can also watch our coverage of the Flambeau Parade on KSAT.com.
And a change is coming for one of your Fiesta favorites. Today, when the King William Fair kicks off, you'll need to use tickets for food and games. That decision comes after system glitches last year when the fair tried to use electronic wristbands. If you're going to the fair and parade today, the King William Association says you'll need a paper admissions bracelet before you can buy those food and drink tickets. And then you should be able to find these ticket stands scattered throughout the neighborhood.
Want to make this the fair that everybody goes back to loving instead of saying, I am never going back there again if they still have those bracelets.
And tickets are no surprise at Fiesta. It's very traditional.
It's very traditional.
It's set to open at 8 a.m. sharp. Now, RJ and Sarah will be out there, and we will check in with them at the fair during 8 a.m. hour.
And we're going to be bringing you that King William Fair and Parade live starting at 8 o'clock. Sarah Costa and RJ Marquez are hosting it. You can watch that parade live on KSAT Plus or on KSAT.com.
Time now 6:39, 74 degrees.
A 4G network on the moon. After the break, what plans NASA has to set up a cellular network on the moon and how they're going to do it.
And then look outside with live cam. Right now it's a warm morning, but it's going to be breezy tonight for the parade. Sarah will break it down for you coming up.
It is 6:43. Welcome back. NASA and tech leader Nokia have joined forces to set up a cellular network on the moon. The goal is to pave the way for humans to have a long-term presence beyond the Earth. This is a plan NASA has so far. A SpaceX rocket is going to carry a simple 4G network to the moon. The lander will then install the system at the moon's south pole. The system, which will then be remotely controlled from Earth, is going to connect the lander via radio equipment to 2 roaming vehicles tasked with searching for ice. This kind of cellular connectivity would be key for NASA's Artemis program, which wants to return astronauts to the moon within the decade.
And a new study is shedding light on when the first animal was able to emit their own light. And it's nearly 300 million years earlier than we first thought. A team of researchers studied the evolutionary history of one of the oldest groups of animals known to be bioluminescent. They include soft corals, sea fans, and sea pens. They found that the common ancestor of all, octocorals, were likely bioluminescent about 540 million years ago. The study was led by scientists at the Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History.
You know, I've never seen those bioluminescent like algae in real life, but I have seen a lot of the videos and stuff, and it's really cool.
Been in them.
What?
Outside of off the coast of the Caymans. There's a tour you can go get in the water.
Oh, how cool
at
was
night.
it, David?
It was amazing.
What an experience.
And they're really hard to take pictures of. You have to have a certain kind of camera, a certain kind of lens and flash and everything because of the way they are. But they're like, you put on a whole like wetsuit and they get on your arms and stuff. It's, and you can kind of kick the water a little bit.
Also, I bet kind of creepy a little bit too.
It was very strange.
Yeah,
very strange.
Sure.
But it was really cool.
That is cool.
So.
And you know what? We've had so much fun for Fiesta this year so far. Really only a couple of hiccups when it comes to the weather, but you know, we can handle it. And today I think we're going to be able to handle the weather just fine. Today, morning drizzle, and yes, a 20% chance for an isolated real rain shower. Tonight for Flambeau, the night parade, it is going to be pretty windy, so just be prepared for that. Gusts up to 35 miles per hour. I think there is probably going to be a lot of vendors, you know, dealing with the wind, and if there are any balloons or things like that, things are going to be blowing in the wind. So keep that in mind for Flambeau. And then, of course, tomorrow morning, I'll be tracking some morning storms. Here's a look at this afternoon and this evening's severe weather risk. We have got a low pressure system with a cold front. Already we've got a tornado watch box for parts of North Texas and Oklahoma, but it's in this bullseye from Abilene to Wichita Falls to Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Denison, Sherman, Stephenville, Texas, that we have a very high risk for severe weather, even large violent tornadoes, large hail. This system is really going to make its way to the San Antonio area by tomorrow morning. And by the time it reaches us tomorrow morning, it's really going to have weakened significantly. But we still have a slight risk for severe weather across parts of the hill country, especially where they're under a 2 on a scale of 1 to 5 for severe weather. Notice that San Antonio area really on the tail end of things, only under a 1 for a risk for severe weather. So I want to take you through the future cast here and really spend our time here. So during the day today, we're going to see a few peaks of sunshine this afternoon. I do think, though, that across parts of the hill country, Bandera, Kerrville, Lakey area, it's going to stay fairly cloudy, even fairly drizzly today. Now here in San Antonio, again, our storm chance is really only highest tomorrow morning. And as we look at overnight tonight, that's when storms are really going to start to blossom. This is 9 p.m. tonight. Storms blossoming from Oklahoma City to North Texas down to San Angelo. That's where we will have that highest risk for severe weather. And then overnight, those storms are going to try to push into the hill country. They could still produce hail and gusty winds, but it's going to be in the overnight hours for areas like Rock Springs Junction, Sonora, Lakey, Kerrville. This is a look at 2 o'clock in the morning. Because of the time of day, and in my experience, these storms really weaken significantly by the morning hours, but we're still going to be on alert. From 5 a.m., the hill country has a higher chance for storms. But from 7 a.m. to noon, that's when we'll see some rain in San Antonio. Again, I think they're going to weaken fairly significantly before they make it here, but it is something I'm going to keep my eye on. And then by tomorrow afternoon, we'll be looking at things drying out, even some sunshine for us. So when we look at time frame, it's around 7 a.m. to noon tomorrow in San Antonio that we have the highest risk for storms. And as far as rainfall goes, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of rainfall. Outside right now, though, it is just humid, 75 degrees. We're actually seeing some areas of mist and drizzle, limiting visibility to about 5 to 7 miles out there. And as you look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, drizzle this morning. Look at those winds. Winds picking up from the south, sustained at 20 miles per hour. So it's going to be breezy. And then this afternoon, peaks of sunshine in 85. I want to show you the temperature spread across our viewing area. It's going to be close to 100 in Del Rio, but where we see more clouds in the hill country, in the upper 70s, low 80s, mid 80s right around San Antonio. For Fiesta Flambeau tonight, again, breezy. Vanguard 7:15. Parade starts at 7:45. We'll be looking at temperatures falling into the 70s after sunset at 8:09. And then in the week ahead, daily isolated storm chances 20 to 30% in the week ahead. But it isn't until Friday, when a weak cool front moves through, that we see our rain chances really start to pick up. But again, the window tomorrow for storms, 7 a.m. to noon. I will be here tracking those showers and storms. Make sure you have the KSAT Weather Authority app downloaded.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
It is 6:49, 74 degrees.
A 4-year-old boy who once struggled with kidney failure is now fulfilling his wish of becoming a police officer for the day. Up next, how the Orlando Police Department was able to make it happen.
We're about 7 minutes away from 7 o'clock. A young fella, now an honorary Orlando police officer, thanks to Make-A-Wish.
He's an avid Paw Patrol fan who made it through a difficult medical diagnosis. And as Michelle Meredith reports, now he's a natural at law enforcement.
A day in the life of an Orlando police officer never begins pulling up in a chauffeur-driven stretch limousine. But it was not just any day for Officer Stone Hicks. Working with Make-A-Wish, he packed a whirlwind of crime fighting into a matter of hours. Years ago, Stone was struggling with kidney failure. His dad donated one of his kidneys 2 years ago, and he's doing great. But since he's always dreamed of being a police officer, the Orlando Police Department and Orlando City Soccer set him up.
Our kids go through so much when they battle their critical illness, and so we're really here to celebrate him and give him that hope and strength and joy in his life.
The SWAT team delivered his pint-sized uniform. Stone was dutifully sworn in by the chief.
Congratulations, you're a police officer. The breaking news update. We just got word of a bold dog napping.
His name is Rocky. Please help me find my dog.
And within minutes, Officer Stone got his first case. A doggone dirty criminal stole a pup. He solved the first case before you could bark woof.
I'm sorry. I'm there. I'm so sorry. I'm dead in there. Shut the door, Stone.
With one arrest under his belt, the officer learned a T-shirt stealing thief made off with an Orlando City jersey. And Stone just got intel that the suspect is at the soccer stadium. When Officer Stone caught up with him, was he ever sorry?
I'm so sorry, Officer Stone.
After putting not one but 2 perps in cuffs, the seasoned officer came back to headquarters to a hero's welcome and posed for pictures in his shiny new cop car.
Him being in the police cars and rushing to the bad guys and arresting them and everything, it was like a full-on experience for him. So one that I'm pretty sure he will not forget.
But for Officer Stone Hicks, it was all in a day's work. You were awesome!
I was awesome.
He's so cute. He did good work there.
Do not mess with Officer Stone Hicks.
No.
I love how he was walking the suspect after he handcuffed him.
He took it very serious.
No, don't mess with that guy. No, sir. 6:56, 74 degrees.
We'll be right back.
All right, we have patchy drizzle out there right now. We're going to be looking at peaks of sunshine this afternoon, high temperature of 85. Tonight for the Fiesta Flambeau Parade, just be ready for breezy conditions, winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour tonight. Again, there's going to be a lot of parade vendors and things like that dealing with that wind, so be aware of that. It'll be humid and near 70 at midnight. Now, tomorrow morning, storm chances really spike from 7 a.m. to noon. There's a high chance for some storms in the San Antonio metro area. Some could be on the strong side, so I'll be here watching things carefully for you. As for the rest of the forecast, next week it's going to be humid every day with morning drizzle. An isolated shower or storm is possible in the afternoon. Chances are only 20 to 30%, but by Friday we see storm chances tick up a little bit with the passage of a weak cool front. So we're officially, I think, in a spring-like weather pattern, right? It's kind of muggy, and we got a chance for about a quarter to half an inch of rain tomorrow morning, guys.
Pooch Parade, King William Fair Parade coming up. We're going to check in with all those folks coming up at 8 o'clock. Right now, it's time for
Good Morning America.